Hey there, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 704 High School Highlight Podcast. I'm Jeff Taylor, Sports Director here at Bahakel Sports, and today we have three gentlemen from the men's tennis team at Providence High School. I'm going to have you guys real quick just introduce yourselves. What year are you? And we'll go from there. So we'll start over here.
I'm Jack Shaw. I'm going to be going into my senior year next year.
I'm Colin Cushman. I'm also going to my senior year.
I'm Toby Stamps. I'm going to my junior year.
Cool. Awesome. So let's start over here. Thanks for joining us, by the way. We appreciate it. Especially during the summer, getting up a little early to come out here, so appreciate it. So let's start over here. Why tennis? Kind of what drew you to it? Has it kind of been something you've always played? Kind of delved into other sports? Has it always kind of really just been tennis?
So I started off really mostly just playing baseball growing up, and then I kind of started to age out of that as I got into middle school. Then COVID hit, and the only thing I could really do was go play tennis with like my family.
It was like the perfect COVID sport.
Yeah. So then we just kept going out, and just started picking it up. One day my mom signed me up for a clinic, and I just kind of adopted it as my sport from there.
Colin, what about you?
For me, I remember watching Wimbledon during the summer. I was about 8 years old, and I was watching it with my dad, and I was like, what is this? I've never seen this before, because my dad's always been watching football. And so tennis was on, and it's on a grass court, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. Can I play some lessons or do some lessons? And he's like, sure. So we have a park, Beatty Park, right next to our house. And so I started taking lessons, and I just fell in love with the sport. So ever since 8 years old, I've been playing tennis. So
For me, it's kind of been a lifestyle for me because I've played tennis since I was 6. So my dad got me into a tennis tournament, and I guess my passion grew from fighting. And I don't know, tennis is just a great sport for me.
didn't your older brother?
Oh yeah, Charlie played at Belmont Abbey, so he's been a tennis player. So I kind of want to follow in his footsteps in a way. But
Cool. Y'all played a lot growing up. Anybody left-handed?
I'm left-handed.
There you go.
Yeah.
Boo.
Nobody knows which way the serve's coming. They think you're hitting to your
Exactly.
backhand. They're hitting to the forehand.
I'm a wild card when it comes to that.
Well, I know, and it's kind of cool because I remember playing when I grew up, and I played. I didn't play like high school or anything like that, but I played probably till my 20s or 30s. But same thing. People would be like, ball's going away from me. I'm not used to it going away from me. I'll hit to his backhand, with my forehand, and all of that. So cool. So let's talk a little bit about this past season. Undefeated during regular season and regional play, I guess, correct?
Yeah.
We're undefeated going all the way up until, I guess,
Yeah.
all the way to the finals.
All the
Yeah,
way.
state finals.
Just talk about the year a little bit and how successful it was. And we'll talk about the championship in a minute, but just how cool was it to do that?
It was really cool, but it was a lot different for me than it was for them too, because those two are starters. I was line 7.
Okay.
I was expecting to be line 6 this year, and then I kind of coincidentally met my best friend through that, because
Yeah.
our friend Dennis, he's a foreign exchange student. He came from Germany, and nobody knew who he was, and then he just showed up to tryouts and blew everybody away. Nobody was expecting him to be as good as he was. But then every time somebody had to miss a match or somebody wasn't there, I would just be the go-to fill-in and just do my role with all the way up. Even into the playoffs, we had an emergency where one of our teammates something happened with his eye. Do you know what ended up happening?
He had an eye infection. He couldn't
Oh.
play. So.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was 30 minutes before the match. I was just thrown out there, but I did my job and we got it done.
Yeah, you won.
Yeah, it was
Let's expand on that a little bit more. The foreign exchange student comes over,
Oh, yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Doesn't know anybody. To me, that's one of the great things about
Oh,
sports.
yeah.
I mean, whether you play tennis or football or track or whatever it is, there's just this brotherhood or sisterhood.
Mm-hmm.
How cool was it to be a part of that kid's life and be a part of that situation where he came over, didn't know anybody, and you were able to do that?
Yeah, it was.
You can talk all the way around the horn, too.
Yeah, it was.
I
really
mean,
cool.
he kind of just showed up.
Yeah.
We didn't know who he was. His name's Dennis, and I mean, he came out, and we kind of just
We love
accepted
it.
him.
Yeah.
As soon as tryouts started, we were like, "Who is this kid, man? He's got a monster forehand. He's just
Yeah.
coming out and slapping balls."
His serve is crazy.
Yeah.
And he
too.
got better. As
Oh, yeah.
the season
Oh,
went
yeah.
on, he just got so much better. It's
Also,
crazy.
when he came to tryouts, he didn't even have any of the right equipment. He just had a racket. He had a pair of
Yeah.
sneakers since he wasn't expecting to even do anything.
Whoa, back up. So what other equipment is there?
Well, he didn't have the proper tennis shoes.
Got it, okay.
But
He was wearing Chuck Taylor Converse or something.
yeah, pretty much. He walked out there just wearing sneakers, didn't even have athletic clothes on, and was just carrying a racket.
Got it.
And then just went out there and
And everybody's like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
he had an old racket.
Was it wooden? It wasn't wooden,
No,
was it?
it wasn't quite
It wasn't that old.
But it was still like, it was really interesting to see because then like 2 days later he came with like all the actual stuff and like
Was ready to go.
Yeah.
He is ready to go. Yeah, so in German, Auf geht's means let's go.
Right.
So like throughout the season, like we would just like if we would win a point on our court, we would scream Auf geht's. And
Really?
he would scream
Yeah.
back.
Wow.
And it was just the culture it was awesome.
So talk about the year two, just in terms of to go undefeated,
yeah.
to make that mark was got to be pretty special.
I think one of the biggest changes for us was our new coach. So we
Okay.
had a coach last year, and he was a great guy. He's an awesome person. He loves tennis. He's playing college tennis, I think, at Methodist University right now.
Okay.
But he was just not a good coach. He showed up for maybe half the matches. He only scheduled us 8 matches last season, and I think this season we had about 15 matches.
Wow.
So our new coach, Josh Oxendine, I mean, he came in here and first year he brought us to a state final. So
Yeah.
it was just awesome for him to come in there, and he changed our whole program, I would say.
What was his message? Did he come in with a message? Did he come in just kind of like, or he just kind of like was there and like you said, it was such a culture change.
Yeah.
Was that enough in itself to just be a positive thing?
Yeah, well, we had to be more disciplined, I
yeah.
guess, because Will's,
I guess.
a lot more just
Will's, we could just do whatever we wanted. But with Coach Oxendine, no throwing rackets. I mean, no cussing on court.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big thing, and like everyone had to have an attitude change. So, well, everybody gets in their head at some point, but you have to get it together, and I think he helped with that to get us together back in the match.
I think as soon as he stepped in, his first message was, "We're not losing." It's like he came in there, he like sunglasses on, a full outfit, and he's like we're not messing around this season.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's also a former doubles North Carolina
He was
state
a
champion.
2017 Pro of
Yeah.
the Year.
Okay.
So he's
So it was game one.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
no, he knew what he was doing
Yeah.
stepping into the court.
And I think that just overcame
That
the
even
team,
helped
and
us.
it just like straight from the start.
So he says we're not going to lose.
Yeah.
So I raised 3 boys, and and they've all played sports and stuff like that. But you go undefeated. We're not going to lose, but how do you stay level-headed? How do you not become too big in your head? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like you're undefeated. Finally, we're it. How do you stay level-headed? Did he help you with that?
Yeah,
or?
after every match, he's like, y'all played great, but there's still room for improvement.
Okay.
Like, don't get in your head.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, this week of practice, we're going to get after what we messed up, what we need to fix, and what we need to work on. So it was just like, after every match, no matter how bad the beatdown was from us, he would just be like, don't get in your head, don't get cocky, because we still got, 12 more matches the rest of the
Right.
season. So that was kind of his message, was stay calm, stay collected, and don't get cocky.
Cool. Toby, cool just be a part of an undefeated season.
Oh, yeah.
And to go through regions.
Well, my expectations were not as high because me at 3 was not good. So I was at line 3.
What are you talking about?
Me at line 3 is not that good, but
Undefeated in singles.
Yeah.
yeah, but I definitely stepped it up. I think everybody stepped it up because, yeah, when we came in, I don't know. I thought we were gonna lose to Myers Park, but we got it out, and state finals was just crazy. So
and the people who watch the podcast know, so I had 3 kids who go to Providence, and especially football-wise, it was always Providence and AK. Providence and AK,
Yeah.
Providence and AK. And I talked to, the soccer team from AK, a few girls from there, and they're like, we hate Providence. So blah, blah. In a sport like tennis, because I guess you said you had 8 matches one year, 15 the next, can you get a rivalry match? I mean, do you build rivalries, or are there just certain schools are good and you just want to do the best? You know what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah.
You don't have one set one, maybe?
I would probably say Myers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they've been the most competitive with us in the past, and last season in the regular season we lost to them 5-4, and then in the playoffs we beat them 5-4, and then this year we beat them 5-3. We didn't even have to finish the other doubles match, so we've kind of built up this rivalry going head to head. It's 2 titans going after each other.
I would say AK used to be our rival.
Right.
I remember 2 years ago that was we would play them twice in 1 year.
Right.
But ever since we got moved out of their conference, it's just it hasn't been the same.
Right.
So,
I got it.
they just haven't been as competitive as they were a couple years ago. They had this really good line 1, and he was just amazing. I think he's playing tennis somewhere. I don't know now, but so it used to be up there as a big rival, but now it's definitely Myers Park because they have that competition level and they post all the time on their social media talking.
Yes.
Talk a little smack.
Yeah,
There we
exactly.
go.
Saying we're the best, and then
so they'll talk.
Wait a minute.
They'll talk all that, and then we'll just go beat them on the court. So
Same, probably Myers Park.
Yeah, same with Myers. Well,
Maybe Huff too.
yeah, Huff was easy. There were
Well,
a lot-
last year they beat
No,
us.
let's-
6-0.
Yeah, no, last
Okay.
year they
Yeah,
beat
it
us,
was-
but this year they have one good line one,
Yeah.
and then everyone else wasn't that good. But
So most people, we watch football. There are 4 quarters. There's 9 innings in baseball, and we know how it all works. For those people who don't know, what is high school tennis? How does that work in terms of when you say you win, you win? What does it take? I mean, are there
think this is-
certain singles, certain doubles? How does it all go down?
I think this is the worst part about tennis is trying to explain high school tennis to
It's-
kids
Yeah,
that
okay.
don't play
it's-
tennis.
it's
all right,
horrible.
here you go. Here's your
Here we go,
platform.
here we
Have
go.
at it.
All right, you go.
Do I need a chart or anything?
So-
You need 4 points to win a game, and then you need, for singles, 6 games to win a set, and you need 2 sets to win a match.
yeah,
And then,
So it's
Yeah.
basic tennis if you know what tennis is about.
right,
yes.
right.
Okay.
And then for
So
doubles,
it's 2 out of 3 sets.
Yeah,
Got
and
it.
then doubles is different though. We play what's called an
Pro set.
Pro set.
which is it's the first 8 games rather than
1 set to
6. Yep.
Okay, just 1 set.
Yep,
Yeah.
just 1 set. And oh yeah, and if it goes to 7-all or 5-all, or not 5-all, if
Yeah.
it goes to
8-all.
Yeah.
8-all, it goes to a 10-pointer.
yeah,
Got it. 10-point tiebreaker.
So
So
it's win by 2 as well.
Overall, you played 9 matches.
okay, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
you play 9 matches.
So
How
you
many
have
singles?
6 singles
And
and,
three?
then 3 doubles.
Got it, okay.
Yep.
So it's best of 9, so it's first to 5. So
Okay.
whatever team wins 5 matches first wins the entire match.
So you could win 5 of the 6 singles
Yeah,
done,
Yeah,
exactly.
you're done.
and you're done.
Yeah. So, but if it goes to 3-3
Right.
or 4-2, whatever, you have to play the doubles.
Got it.
And so you don't have to finish all the doubles if you're at 4-2 and you have a doubles win.
So
the match is
how
over.
many guys did y'all have on the team this year?
12.
12?
Yeah.
Yeah, 12.
12 players.
So I guess my question is there a chance to rotate? I mean, like the kids who play singles, do they play doubles also? Do some kids not play at all? Does it just vary from match to match? Does that make sense?
I think it does vary from match to match.
Yeah.
It's usually the first 6. They're usually the starters through
Okay.
singles and doubles.
When you say line 1, line 2, those
Yes.
are yours.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
it's number
okay.
1, number 2.
Number 2. Got it. Okay.
So I was 4, he was 3,
Mhm.
and then he was 7.
Yeah.
So
Got it.
he's the first up off the bench.
Okay.
If you want to say that. But so like when we would play easier teams like Independence High School, who
Got
doesn't
it.
really have a program,
Right.
we could maybe sub in some of our 8 or 9 or 10
Got it.
players and put them in and let them compete, just so they can get some court time.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
they
some
need
experience as well.
and they need
'cause
experience exactly.
That's a lot of it. Because experience is really what builds a player. Because
Right.
less you have,
Yeah.
you're not going to compete as far without
Yeah.
a lot more
Totally agree.
experience.
I get singles. Is doubles a little more difficult on the high school level because maybe could you be playing with Jack one time and then Toby the next and trying to get this type
Oh,
of
yeah.
like
Oh,
chemistry?
yeah.
Trying to get the chemistry.
So I see Toby. Actually, Toby, you can take this.
Okay.
I
okay.
see-
Go ahead, yeah, go ahead.
I see him. Yeah, yeah.
So it was the first match like we ever played, and they put me and Colin together. It was against Charlotte Catholic, and we already won the match, so it didn't really matter. But we just got blown out, and so Colin is way better with Kemp. Like Colin and Kemp are really Kemp's the line 5, and they're both really good at doubles. And I'm good with Dennis. I play with Dennis, and then Grant and Danny play line 1. So yeah, that's
I would see Toby more as a singles player.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Toby
He has
definitely goes on the
100%
court and
more.
dominates in singles.
Got it.
When it comes to doubles, he's like good at it.
He knows what
but
to do,
It's
but
he doesn't
Yeah.
really have that chemistry with another
yeah,
player.
it
Right.
doesn't translate.
Which I guess is hard to do.
Right.
It is
right.
I mean,
So
got it.
me and Kemp, I've known Kemp for a long time. We used to play in tournaments and stuff. So going into the season, we were doubles partners last year. This season, we were like, all right, we got to lock in. We're gonna do great. So doubles for me is a lot better than singles. So it kind of just varies on the player. Jack, what would you say?
I would see. I can be good at both. I think
I'd say
if I'm
doubles.
Yeah.
if I'm singles, I'm a lot more controlled with myself. But doubles, like if I have good chemistry with someone, it can be better. So it depends. It can go either way for me.
So obviously the championship didn't go the way you wanted. I think you won the state title back in 2007. I think is what Providence when they won their last tennis
yeah,
title
yeah.
in the state. It didn't go the way you wanted, but just talk about the experience of getting to that point and getting to play in that. Even though it didn't end the way you wanted, how cool was that experience to be playing in the state championship?
So I didn't get to play, but this is like from basically like the team's viewer perspective. It was a crazy roller coaster because we thought we were gonna lose in the semifinals because we went into the doubles. We were up.
We were We were
tied 3-3.
down. Wait,
we
no,
were-
we were
no, it was
3-all.
tied. It was
3-all.
tied, 3-all.
Yeah, 3-all.
And then you and Dennis won your match.
Yeah, we won ours.
And then you and Kemp lost yours. So it was down to.
Did it come down to the final match?
Yeah,
the
final
one-line
match.
doubles.
Wow.
So
And our line one doubles is second in the state.
Yep.
Like, which was really impressive. And then when we were there, like, we were watching, they were down terribly. Like, it was
7-3.
7-2.
7-2.
It was 7-2.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And then
six
'cause
games.
our number one player, he broke a string early on. I was watching. It was just nothing was going the right way.
Yeah.
And then Grant switched on, which is our other 9-1 doubles. And
Something clicked.
then
and-
something clicked for him, and then it got shut down. And Danny clicked, and it got shut down, and they just couldn't find it. And then on the final game, when they were down 7-2, they found it.
Yeah.
And apparently, the other team's coach was like, "This is it." After they won one game, and then it went 7-3, 7-4, 7-5, 7-6, 7-7, 7-8, 7-9. So they won 7 straight in order
Wow.
to win it.
Wow.
And they had 2 match points as well that they could have lost at, which was like it was the scariest thing for us too.
Yeah.
Can you have momentum in tennis?
I think. Oh yeah.
All the
I mean,
time.
momentum changes are all the time in tennis. I think what's special about high school tennis is everybody thinks tennis is a quiet sport,
Yeah.
and then you go out to see high school matches, and I mean, for that semifinals, we're all locked arms and we're screaming like
Yeah.
the dugout
Right.
in baseball.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just like we're trying to hype up our team, and it just gets like the energy going. It gets momentum, and it's both teams. So people think, they're like, people always ask me, if I come out and watch your match, can I cheer, or do I have to be quiet and golf clap? And I'm like, go out and be as loud as you want, because
Yeah.
it's high school tennis. So.
Game on.
Yeah.
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 Got it. So talk to me a little bit about it, because obviously, you're not going to put 8,000 fans in the stands.
Right.
But the school, what is the support like from the school? Is it there? Is it? I mean, I get it because
Yeah.
it's not basketball, it's not football.
Right.
But let me ask you this. Let me go this route. What are people missing? What are fans missing? Those people are like, I'm not. It's
yeah.
blah, blah. What are they missing out on?
I just think there's no hype around tennis. It's all
There's
around
no-
sports like football and basketball and
It's the
baseball.
big team sports.
Yeah,
but
and people are like, well, we have a tennis team. I don't never heard of
they're pretty
who's
good.
on the
but
team or anything. It's
We
like,
don't know the 1, 2, or
Or the,
Right.
Yeah.
3
They don't like.
player, but we might know we might know the number 8 or something like that. But
Right.
they really don't know a whole lot.
And I just don't think our school was really focused on tennis this year. We our older AD Ken, he's a great guy, but he just wouldn't focus on tennis. He would put all the support towards baseball, because our baseball team's awesome over at
Coach
Providence.
Ignite.
Right, exactly. So I just don't think that tennis got the looks that it should have with an undefeated team going to the state finals. And
I had Ryan Blumenberg on here a couple weeks ago.
really, yeah. So I mean, Josh, our coach, he did a great job of trying to get out the teachers. I mean, he had
Oh,
our
yeah.
principal come out. He had a couple teachers come
We
out.
got our math teacher to come
We
out.
got our math teacher to come out. So it's kind of like on us to get the hype around
Yeah.
tennis and
So,
not
like,
the school.
Me and Dennis, we were always calling out our friends to come out and
Right.
just have like a small crowd to like just cheer us on. But like, it was really hard to get people to continue to go out and like
Right.
cheer us on.
And some of our tennis matches go on for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, they're
Right.
long.
It
Wow.
depends on how close
Yeah.
they are. So
Right.
it's not like a baseball or football where it's only 2 hours.
Right.
It can last.
They can go a
forever.
little while?
Yeah. So
it could be an hour and a half, or it could be 5.
it'll be 2:30 just
hours.
out of school, and then next thing you know, I won't be home till 8:30 doing my homework.
Right.
So
So obviously, we're in the midst of Wimbledon.
Yeah.
And so let me ask you this question first, then we'll talk a little bit about Wimbledon. Have you guys played on grass?
I've
Clay?
never played
Clay?
on grass.
No.
Have you played on clay?
yeah,
Yes.
athletic.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, we,
Everybody, I mean,
Yeah.
is there some high school? Nobody has clay courts
No,
in
no,
high
no.
school, but
No
you've
public
had a
high
chance to
schools.
play. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Clay's a little different, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
You have to just adjust how you play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm better on hard court than I am clay court. I can say that for sure. But
I mean, I would say for clay, the ball bounces a little differently. There's a lot different traction with your feet. And
Slide a lot.
Sliding.
Yeah, slide a lot
So
more.
it's-
Yep.
I prefer clay because it's fun. You can slide around.
Sure.
Exactly.
But I mean, I wouldn't say it's that big of a difference. I mean, it is, but it isn't. So it just depends.
Right. Has I guess I'm trying to figure out the way to word this one. I'm 55 and I grew up watching Wimbledon, but I grew up watching Jimmy Connors and John McEnroe,
yeah.
The Mouth, Pete Sampras and stuff like that. Are we getting back to where, American presence in tennis is maybe starting to maybe come back a little bit? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say so. I mean, we got Taylor Fritz. He's upcoming American. He's in his young 20s. He's in the top 15, top 20. I mean, he just went out in the second round yesterday,
Right.
which was a tough loss. We got John Sock. We got Garon. He just played. Some of these players I know because I ball boyed for the Winston-Salem Open
Okay.
up in Winston-Salem,
Yeah.
so it was kind of cool getting the ball boy from. But I think definitely not like that. Definitely not John McEnroe. Definitely
Right.
not Pete Sampras.
Sure.
We don't have that caliber yet, but I think we're definitely on the come up. I mean, we've got players like Alcaraz. I mean, he's 20 years old.
Right, yeah.
He's already in the top 10. So, I mean, I think we still have a lot of time, and we need to grow as Americans to get up to that caliber. But I don't think we're there yet.
Thoughts? Same thing?
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar.
Yeah, basically the same. Ben
Got it.
Shelton's pretty good.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, I want Tiafa to win.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
probably our number one American right now.
Yeah.
Got it.
I mean, he had a close match yesterday against the Canadian striker, but it was a good match.
Are we at a point too where tennis in America could even, I think it's pretty popular, but I almost see it making a turn now where it's becoming even a little more popular.
Yeah,
And I think less kids are, and I don't know if it's injuries and all that, you're seeing less kids play football. You're seeing less kids maybe don't want to play baseball 365 days a year or whatever like that. Does that open the door for tennis to kind of start to make a comeback where you put a racket in a kid's hand and he goes, okay, this is kind of cool?
Yeah,
I think
it's definitely gaining traction.
I think the only thing that tennis has on these other sports is longevity. Kids don't understand that if you start young, you can play all the way up until you're 75, 80, right? But I think right now what's taken over is kind of pickleball. Pickleball is on this huge slope up, and I mean tennis is super popular, but because of tennis, I think pickleball is growing a lot.
All right, so do we like pickleball?
I like pickleball. I
like
love it too, yeah.
I think it's all right. Tennis is much more. what
Not
I
as
like
good
to
as
play.
tennis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Well, yeah, no.
No bias, of course.
No bias, no bias. Got it. So, where do you want to go with it in terms of college, 5 years down the road? John, where do you see yourself if in the perfect world with tennis?
I would really like to play in college. I don't know if I'll be able to get that opportunity or not. If I could, that would be amazing. But even if I don't play in college, I'd still like to go out on my own and still just play just for fun. Even if I don't go big time college or pro or anything like that.
Right.
I think for me, I went to a collegiate exposure camp about a year ago up in Philadelphia, and I talked to some coaches, and they're like, hey, maybe you should come up and, take a tour.
Take a tour and visit.
Take a visit. And I've thought about it, and I'd rather just go to a nice school, get a good education, and maybe play club.
Right.
And then maybe after, just be a coach.
Yeah.
And
No, absolutely.
go that route and just coach little kids or coach kids to, be tournament players and stuff like that. So.
Dope.
I really want to play college tennis. Well, D1. So, over the summer, I'm playing a lot of tournaments to try to get that opportunity. I might not be good enough yet, but I hope I can get better.
He's definitely on.
He definitely has a good shot at doing this.
I like how tennis is a fighting sport. So even if you're down, you're not out. You can keep on fighting, and the momentum turn. It's always
One shot.
Yeah, one shot is all it takes. It's all mental too. In your head, you're thinking all these negative thoughts, but you gotta keep it positive and keep on fighting. So.
Well, I will encourage you too. I played Division III football in college, and had dreams of going Division I, but I was like, you know what? I played Division III, and at the end of the day, I tell people, I played college football,
right?
And and it was kind of cool because it wasn't the 24/7. You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
I could play it and go that route.
Right.
So best of luck that way. So, I think if I'm correct, y'all have four of the top players coming back to Providence.
Yeah.
If we had to your line or
Yes,
whatever.
yes.
So how excited for next season?
State championship.
Oh, yeah.
Go hard or go home.
We're going.
Yeah, we're taking it.
We're going. So that's the goal. We already know that's the vision for next season, and coach is not going to let that go.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean that's what we're looking at.
This season we were expecting maybe quarterfinals at best, and then we just kept running with it and just didn't stop. So, and next season we're also getting another really good player who's probably gonna be our line one and replace our current line one and shift everything back. So it'll be really interesting to see how that works as well.
Jack Demina, he's like, I don't know.
He might go to Penn State actually.
Really?
For tennis,
He's like 15 in the South. Like
Yeah.
he's
Wow.
insane. Both his parents are pros, and so they've taught him. And he's been at Providence the last 2 years, which we've tried to convince him like, hey,
Yes.
come out and play for the team. But he's like, I don't know. I think it's a waste of time. But then he sees us go to the state championship
Right.
and lose, and he's like, all right, let me
Let me help.
If I'd have been
you.
there,
yeah,
you
he did my work. Right. So
he wants the ring.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think we have good goals for next season, and it'll be a good season.
Cool.
And I think in the off season we're all going to work a lot more
Yeah.
because like we saw how far we could go, so we're just going to try and work even harder to push for that all the way.
So what does that mean in terms of, with football, we talk, they do 7 a.m. workouts, you're lifting, you're doing this, you're doing that. What is off-season workout? I mean, do you just play tennis?
Yeah, we play a lot of tennis, a lot of tournaments. Also,
But is there like, when we talk about weight training or we talk about, some people think about their food intake and all this other stuff. I mean, is that a part of off-season for you guys?
not a lot of weightlifting, I guess.
Got it.
We are
Okay.
tennis
No,
players.
but that's,
But yeah, eat healthy. I mean, you do have to be you can be skinny, but you have to be fit for tennis,
Right.
especially. So yeah, you do all that stuff in the off season, and just work, keep your strokes consistent. Yeah, just get better.
I think that's the thing with tennis is if you're not out practicing, you're gonna lose your rhythm.
Yeah.
So I think you've got to be out there 2 to 3 times a week, just getting reps in and stuff. And for me, I know tennis is all about conditioning because if we're out there for
4 hours.
exactly,
Right.
it's a
You have
long
to have
time.
quick recovery time
Yeah.
in between points.
I remember him this season. He had a tough time with cramping.
Oh yeah.
He cramp a lot, so coach would always bring mustard packets, and we'd have massage guns, and he had stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
pick
so,
and choose.
like during the Myers Park match, he had a cramp up in his calves, and he had to take a medical time
Like he
out.
collapsed on the court.
That
He
was-
collapsed on the court,
And then he tried to get back up immediately after.
and just.
It was like, nope, right back
I
down.
beat him.
So he took about a 5-minute, 10-minute medical timeout, and then healed up, and then went back out and just slapped the kid. But yeah, I mean, stretching, eating, practicing, it's all a part there, just like any other sport. So
Got it. Guys, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Best of
thanks
luck
for
next
having
season.
us. Thank
Best of
you.
luck to you guys next season. And thank you for joining us for our podcast. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, however you view or listen to podcasts. Make sure you check out the 704 High School Highlight Podcast. And until next time, have a great week.